It's the Brooke or that gratitude guy. All right, today, the electric go-kart. When I was about 9 or 10, my dad gave me a small gas engine that came off a lawnmower that we had. And he says, hey, why don't you make a go-kart? All the kids in the neighborhood have go-karts. So I said, okay. So I started fiddling around with this motor, made a little go-kart and put the motor on it. And I must have pulled that thing 1,000, 10,000 times. It would never start. It used to drive me crazy, just pull, pull, pull. And I tried to look at the spark plugs and all this kind of stuff, and it never worked. Finally, one day I looked inside the basement. Here was a little, electric motor. And I plugged it in, and it sure worked. And at 9 or 10 years old, I thought, well, that's a better way. Let's do this. So I put the electric motor on there. I got some belts and things, and of course, what was I going to do for power? So I got a bunch of extension cords. So I was running up and down the street with all these extension cords, and of course, you could go in a circle and so forth. And in one way or another, I somehow, I don't know how it happened, got on the local news. I lived in Spokane, Washington. I remember the news now, like I said, I was about 9 or 10. A young Spokane boy has had an ingenious way to figure out to get this go-kart to work, and he's got an electric go-kart. So it was kind of fun. So I was on the news, and it was one of the big stories that day and so forth. Well, what does that have to do with gratitude? What it has to do with gratitude is I want you to think about people in your life that maybe you looked at a little bit harshly. My father was the one that gave me that gas motor. I found out later there wasn't even a coil in it. I don't think it ever would have started. But maybe he did that on purpose. Maybe he did that so I could have a little bit of ingenuity and figure out something for myself, go out and get an electric motor, whatever it might have been. My father, unfortunately, later committed suicide. And what I want you to think about is the reason that gratitude, another one of the many, many reasons it's so powerful, is it can take a negative world we live in and reframe it and refocus into one that's positive. When you start thinking about all the things in your life that you're grateful for, a lot of the negative, if not all of it, washes away. So think about that. If you don't have a gratitude journal, get one at thebrooker.com and be writing in there everything you're grateful. As I look back on my dad, he was not the perfect dad in the world, but he did a lot of things that were really good. And when he, when he gave me that gas motor, maybe that was just one of the ways he wanted to see what I could do and figure out if I couldn't get it started, end up getting an electric motor, and therefore there was the electric go-kart. So think about, that's what gratitude can do for you. That's what a gratitude journal can do for you. You're focusing on that every single day. It reframes, it refocuses everything in a very positive way. And trust me, you'll have a lot better frame of mind and a lot better attitude. That's it for today. Have a grateful day. We'll see you tomorrow.